Hey guys, just wanted to share a little bit about what's going on with PSLF at the moment. If you're going for PSLF, this has been an extremely frustrating past few months. Around like June 11th, they decided to essentially put a hold on everything and put everybody in the same plan into an involuntary forbearance. And so a whole lot of people have been stuck on that forbearance, just waiting around for that forbearance to eventually end so that they can get credit again. A lot of people have been applying for an alternative repayment plan, and they've been trying to get on a different repayment plan, but they've not been able to. And so we are now in December. We have December and part of January, and then the Biden administration's term is up. And then we have the new Trump administration where, one of their positions is abolishing Department of Education, right? So a lot of people are really nervous that are on PSLF in particular about what do I do? What can I possibly take action on right now? And I just wanted to give you a little bit of background as to what's going on right now with PSLF. So first off, the Department of Education is telling MOHELA to just not do anything right now, basically. So just to be clear, Department of Education has the power to tell MOHELA to process applications, to switch people out of SAVE onto a different plan to get credit. Department of Education is the one saying, no, don't do it. Now, this could be because they plan to reopen the pay and the ICR plans in the middle of December. So that could be the reason. That could be what's going on. And so that could be the reason why MOHELA is being told to wait. Now, the way they're trying to get pay and ICR reopened is they're saying that instead of having them phase out July 2024, which was what the regs say, they're going to have them phase out in the middle of 2027. The problem is with the new administration could effectively probably do whatever they want to do. So they might try to reopen this in the middle of December, and meanwhile, a lot of the people in this administration have already taken new jobs, are already looking for different jobs, and the processing leaves a lot to be desired, to say the least. So if I was in PSLF right now, here's kind of what you have to think about. The PSLF buyback is a thing. So you need to keep track as to what your payment would be based off of your most recent federal tax return before the forbearance started, and then what it would be after the forbearance started. And you need to have an idea of how much you would be paying on, let's say the IBR plan. So the IBR plan, you can use, there's a payment calculator on student aid, there's one on our studentloanplanner.com website. And if you figure out what should my IBR payment be, that you should take that and file it away, because you should eventually be able to buy back the credit during this several months of forbearance that we've been under with PSLF. So if you're far away from forgiveness, you just kind of want to file it away in the back of your head, knowing that you might want to buy back this period that everybody's in forbearance for, right? Now, if you are, potentially very close to 120 total months of total qualifying credit, what you want to do is wait until you're completely done. You're done with 120 months of qualifying employment. Notice I didn't say payments, I mean employment. And then go and take that and then just say you're done, go apply and say, I'm done with PSLF, I want to get forgiveness. And then they're going to deny you, and then you have to use very specific language with them saying, I want to be evaluated for the PSLF buyback under the PSLF and TE PSLF rules. It's really stupid. But, that's what you have to do. And so, people that are basically at the 120 months of qualifying credit with PSLF, they should be able to get PSLF right now. It's going to take a little while, but I think that you'll have a good chance. For people who are not close to PSLF but are still wanting to get credit right now, we ultimately have to wait for the servicers to be allowed to process IDR applications at the direction of, the student loan group at Department of Education. They can't do anything unless Department of Education says it's okay. And so if anybody watches this or forwards this to anybody they know at Department of Education, please let the servicers do their job. It doesn't have to be this way, right? The Department of Education doesn't have to actively screw over borrowers. You can say, yes, let's process IBR applications immediately for people on PSLF. You can totally do that. There's nothing in the law or in the courts that stop people from processing applications to go get onto the IBR plan. So this is completely a decision the Department of Education is doing right now. This is something that they completely own, and it's something that is completely their fault, because the servicers are standing by, ready and able to process IBR applications for people that don't want to be on this SAVE plan forbearance that's going on right now. And ultimately, the Department of Education is not allowing them to do that. So as a borrower, I know you're frustrated. I know it's tiring, right? The thing is all you can do is what you can do. Even though it's really dumb and frustrating and stupid, all you can do is what you can do. And so what can you do right now? keep track of what your IBR payments would be if you were allowed to make them right now, right? Know that eventually you're going to need to make an argument to pay that lump sum and get all of this paused payment amounts counted for PSLF. So that's something that you need to do right now. Second thing to do right now, pay attention vaguely to when pay and ICR open up, and when they start processing IDR applications again, you'll want to try to get an application in quickly if that would benefit you, because keeping track of the lump sum buyback you might eventually have to do is definitely not optimal. Now, I'll tell you this. I just saw some data that people that consolidated right before the June 30th IDR waiver deadline or IDR account adjustment deadline, like somebody who consolidated like June 27th, they just now got qualifying credit applied to their account and got notified that they've hit 120 months of credit. Just now. That's 6 months later, right? So that's just like insane. So what about for somebody at the beginning of their journey? If you're at the beginning of your journey right now, I would probably try to consolidate. If you've never done that before on student aid, you can at least put the application in and go ahead and apply for an income-driven plan, and then you're going to have to reevaluate once all the dust settles with all this mess with the 8th Circuit and everything. Now, in terms of the 8th Circuit decision, this is really a huge wild card in terms of how these conservative courts are going to rule on the future of the income-driven repayment plans, because what's really unclear for, let's say, PSLF borrowers is, let's say they say that pay and ICR and all those plans do not allow for forgiveness. Well, does that mean that you could use them to get qualifying payments towards PSLF, which is a specific type of loan forgiveness program? It's possible that it would be the case. So it's possible that they say pay and ICR are illegal for the purposes of loan forgiveness, but it's also possible that PSLF isn't thrown into that, right? So it's very confusing. It's very difficult to kind of like figure out what will happen. The 8th Circuit even talked about the idea that they might send the decision back to the lower courts to make a ruling, and ultimately the government might not decide to appeal it. So I would love for you to ask whatever is on your mind right now. If you want to post in the comments just what questions you have about PSLF, what kind of things are you dealing with, anxiety-wise with these programs, what kind of runaround have you gotten from your servicers or when you've applied. Essentially just share whatever you're going through with PSLF. Also, I wanted to share a tip here. If you put in the comments, if you just type in PSLF in the comments, we'll send over a PSLF checklist for you on just things you can be doing during this very stressful, difficult time. So put that in the comments. Just type in PSLF in the comments and we'll send that over to you. Thank you so much for following Student Loan Planner. If you have any comments, put them below and type in PSLF if you want that checklist. Y'all take care.